everyone, and welcome back to UZEX News on UzReport TV channel. Today in our edition you can get acquainted with the results of exchange activity of the UZEX exchange trade platform for the first 6 months of 2020 and also with the situation of the exchange market of ferrous metals. In the beginning of our program, we traditionally offer your attention the results of auctions on all UZEX trade platforms and also the price dynamics for top trading positions. These were the main indicators of UZEX for last week. Now let's focus on the outcomes of Uzbek commodity exchange over the first half of 2020. Generally, the transactions for 25.4 billion sums were executed at all trading platforms for the past 6 months of the current year, which is 22% exceeding the analogical period of 2019. Average number of transactions concluded monthly reached 4.2 billion sums, wherein this indicator accounted 3.6 billion sums in the month of January, as we can see on the screen, and the maximum level we can observe in the month of June of 5 billion sums, which was the highest one since the beginning of 2020. The turnover structure shows slight changes. A significant part, or 88%, comes to the exchange trades, which is the top performer in this segment. And the second position takes the government procurement, which share accounts over 6%. And the third top leadership position here is taken by B2B e-commerce. As we can see, it goes with 5.4%. Overall, the volume of trades more than doubled, reflecting the growing interest of entrepreneurs in e-commerce. The share of online auction transactions concluded by vehicle plate numbers realization accounted less than 1%. Next, we'll highlight the performance of entrepreneurs in e-commerce. Generally, a total transactions volume concluded with business participation accounted 9.6 billion sums, wherein they purchased commodity resources for 6.5 billion sums via exchange and implemented their own production for 3.1 billion sums, as we can see on the screen. Touching upon the trades structure, the largest deals were made with energy resources, which is the best performer here and takes the top leadership position with 17%, as we can see on the screen. The second position here is taken by cotton production. It goes with 13% on the screen, as we can see, and the third top leadership position here is taken by construction materials and mineral fertilizers. Both of them are going with 11% each on the segment of exchange trades. And definitely it's worth to mention about the foodstuff, which goes with 10%, and feed for livestock goes with 8% at Uzbek Commodity Exchange. Amounting to $47.6 million, commodity was implemented through the export platform of UZEX market for 6 months of the current year. And 39% of the exchange export goes to the top leadership position, which is definitely polyethylene with 39% of the market share. The second position here is taken by seed oil, which goes with a 20% in the export trades segment, and the third top leadership position here is taken by cotton fiber and oil products with 12% each, as we can see here. Polypropylene goes here with 10%, and it's worth to mention about propane, which goes with 4%, and feed for livestock 3% respectively at the UZEX exchange trade platform. As for vehicle plate numbers for January-June 2020, over 24.8 thousand vehicle numbers were implemented via online auction, as we can see on the screen. Its implementation sum accounted 98.6 billion sums. It is 36.3% higher the same analogical period of 2019. Further on, we move to a separate segment of the exchange market. In particular, we'll consider the market of ferrous metals for January-July of 2020. For the considering period, over 230,000 tons of ferrous metals were implemented at the UZEX exchange trade platform, which is 30% more regarding to January-July of the same period of the last year. An average of 31,000 tons of ferrous metal was sold per month, and the highest sales volume occurred in the months of May and June. As we can see, in the months of May it was 44, which is the maximum since the beginning of 2020, and in the months of June it was a little bit lower with 43,000 tons at the UZEX platform. The share of our major has grown for 2% in the sales structure and accounted 75%, as we can see on the diagram. So rebar is an absolute leader in the segment of ferrous metals, which is the top performer and goes with a 75%. The second position here is taken by angle, which goes with 15%, but it's worth to mention that it has decreased its position from 17 to 15%. And the third top leadership position here is taken by circle, which goes with 3%. And it's worth to mention that the commodity assets in this segment are lower than 2%. So let's go to the next diagram for today, and this is going to be rebar price dynamics, and let's see the market situation further on. So generally, due to a high level of supply, the market is showing a decline in prices, which is definitely quite positive news for the consumers of rebar at the UZEX exchange trade platform. The prices went up from 5 million sums per ton up to the maximum position 5.5 million sums per ton in the months of February, but a steady downward trend in the market emerged in the following months. In particular, the prices declined from 5.5 million sums per ton down to its minimum level 4.8 million sums per ton, or the market went down for almost 11% from February to June of 2020. For the months of July, the picture hasn't changed much. Here we see a slight increase to 4.9 million sums per ton, as we can see on the diagram. Similar developments are observed in the world markets as well. In particular, our major prices in Shanghai Future Exchange came down from $436 a ton down to its minimum price position $398 a ton, or 8.5% of the market from the months of January to the months of May, as we can see on the screen. Low prices were influenced by reduced demand on the background of coronavirus pandemic. At the end of May, however, demand rebounded through the construction segment in China and increased infrastructure spending. As a result, the prices rose to $420 per ton, as we can see on the screen. Next, we'll consider the second most important segment of ferrous metals, which is going to be angle. Its sales volume rose for 20% regarding the last year, as we can see on the screen. It also helped to maintain a balance between supply and demand in the angle market. Here we also see a slight increase from 5.5 million tons per ton up to its maximum position 5.6 million tons per ton in the months of January and February of 2020. Prices also fell by 11% in the following months, and in the months of July amounted 4.9 million tons per ton, which is the minimum indicator since the beginning of 2020. So let's go to the last diagram for today, and this is going to be the regional structure. The largest ferrous metal transactions were concluded in the metropolitan area, Tashkent and Tashkent region, with a combined share of 43% on the consumption level, as we can see on the screen. The following are the consumers of Navoiy and Samarkand regions. Navoiy, to be exact, 7.8%, and Samarkand goes with 8.3% on the consumption level in the segment of ferrous metals. The share of other regions is in between 1 to 6%. These were all comments for today. Thank you for watching us and being with us. Do join us next week at UzReport TV channel and surely with our website at www.uzex.uz. See you next week. Bye.